Hi everyone! Today I want to talk about something that can feel surprisingly emotional in the violin world. Not technique, not repertoire, but choice. Specifically, the choice of playing without or with shoulder rest. Before anything else, I want to be very clear about my intention. This is not a video against shoulder rest, and it's definitely not a video telling you what you should do. This is a video about curiosity, listening, and allowing yourself to explore without pressure. The idea for this video came very simply. I was watching a wonderful violinist. She was playing something with a very deep sense of ease, freedom, and sound. And what struck me was not a specific technique, but the relationship between her body and the instrument. And she was playing without shoulder rest. And this is not a statement and it's not a philosophy, just as a natural choice that clearly worked for her. And instead of immediately forming an opinion, I felt something more interesting, curiosity. So I decided to try. I want to be completely transparent with you. I have been playing without a shoulder rest only for 3 weeks. This is the first time in my life that I am seriously exploring this option. So I'm not here with conclusions, I'm not here with answers. I'm here in the middle of a process. And I think that's an important place to speak from. This video is not a setup tutorial or recommendation or a claim that one way is better than the other. This is a comparison and observation and invitation to feel. I want to share what I am noticing so far and encourage you to stay open enough to explore both options so you can discover what works best for your body and your instrument. What I'm noticing so far is that even after 3 weeks, I see some changes. The first thing I noticed was my vibrato. It feels more responsive, not bigger or louder, but more connected. The second thing I noticed was a sense of freedom in my neck and shoulders. It was less holding and less fixing and more freedom of movement. I want to stress something important here. This doesn't mean that playing without a shoulder rest is better. It simply means that my body is responding to a different set of conditions. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this. Trying something new does not mean rejecting what worked before. Exploration is not a rebellion, it's learning. There are many misunderstandings around this topic, so let's clear a few things up. Playing without a shoulder rest is not clamping the violin with your neck, it's not collapsing your chest, and it's not creating tension to compensate for lack of support. If those things happened, then the problem is not the shoulder rest. The problem is how the body is organizing itself. Freedom is never created by force. So I will offer you some examples here. For some violinists, removing the shoulder rest changes the balance. The violin becomes less fixed and more responsive. The body is invited to participate differently. For some people, this leads to more mobility in the left hand, a different quality of vibrato, more awareness of gravity and balance, and it's a sense of listening rather than holding. But, and this is very important, this is highly individual. Freedom without awareness is not freedom. Choosing to play without a shoulder rest requires good bodily awareness, patience, and willingness to stop if something doesn't feel right. This is not an advance or badge of honor, it's not minimalistic virtue. It's simply one possible setup that demands more listening, not less. I want to say this clearly because it's important. Playing without a shoulder rest is not appropriate for everyone and not at every stage. If you are dealing with injury, still developing a basic balance, using tension to stabilize the instrument, or relying heavily on external support, then removing the shoulder rest too early can create problems instead of solving them. And choosing not to try is not a failure, it's intelligence. At this point in the video, I will play a short phrase twice, first with the shoulder rest and then without. I'm not trying to play it differently, and I'm not letting the setup influence the sensation, not forcing a result. As you listen, don't ask which one is better. Ask which looks more available and easy. And most importantly, what do you feel when you try this yourself? So I'm going to play Mozart Fourth Violin Concerto, and it's really not easy repertoire, but I chose it just because in this music you can really feel if you have tension, and you can also hear it on the person who performs. And so I hope you can hear some difference, or if you don't, maybe I can just tell you how I felt after I played. Okay, so the first time I play is with a shoulder rest. And now I'm going to remove the shoulder rest, play the same piece. So I'm trying to put the violin on the collarbone here. This is how it feels comfortable for me. For me, it felt more at ease when I was playing without the shoulder rest. But also in some moments when I have to go up to a position and climb very fast, I can feel that I'm raising my shoulder, and I think that can also be because of a habit. I think I'm doing this even when I'm playing with the shoulder rest, but here is more visible, because I don't have anything to hide it, so I can feel that I'm trying to have the support of the violin when I go up. But as I said, I think that may be also a habit that I have from before. Otherwise, I feel more freedom in the vibrato. I feel more freedom when I'm thinking about the sounds I create. I want to keep experimenting and see what will happen. I think that's a process, and you cannot decide it in 3 weeks, maybe not even in 1 or 2 months. Maybe it needs to take 1 year at least, so you can really compare also to pieces that you played before and that you play today without the shoulder rest, and just feel the difference or see it on your recordings if you have. Both how you look like physically, if you tense somewhere, or if you lift your shoulder or clamp with your neck, that it's probably going to show in a recording from previous videos if you have that. Or you can just do a recording of yourself now and play something that you feel comfortable with, and then compare it with shoulder rest and without shoulder rest. I want to offer you a small experiment. This is not a technical exercise, just awareness check. So try this once with your usual setup and once with the alternative. Play a slow, gentle vibrato on a G major scale and then pause. And then notice your neck, your shoulder, your breathing, the base of your skull. And don't judge, just observe. The goal is not to decide, the goal is to listen. So I will start with shoulder rest, and I will play from the third position because this is where you notice when you go up in a position if you are doing something with your if you're clamping or if you're doing something with your shoulder. And as I said before, I'm putting the violin on my collarbone, and there are a lot of additional help you can get online shops that I have seen selling pieces of fabric, or you can also cut a fabric that doesn't allow the violin to slide, that is more sticking to the instrument. And I want to say that I haven't found anything that I like yet. That's why I'm playing without. So my violin is sliding a little bit, and that's not nice, but I hope I'll find soon. So the same scale. And you can also do recording of yourself and just observe how you react when you're playing a short piece of music or a scale, and be very aware of how your body is reacting on both situations. So the real question is not, should I play without shoulder rest? The real question is, how do I create the conditions for freedom, balance, and sustainability in my body? Sometimes the answer is with a shoulder rest, sometimes it's without, sometimes it's change over time. Where I'm right now is I am in a phase of trying, and I am just comparing. I am observing and I'm learning. I don't yet know where this will lead, and I am comfortable with that. If this video gives you permission to explore gently, intelligently, without pressure, then it has done its job. This is not about equipment, it's about listening to your body. And this is a long life practice. Thank you for being open enough to explore with me. And if you'd like, let me know in the comments what you notice when you try both options. Not what you think is right, but what you feel. And if you enjoy these reflective conversations about playing, feel free to subscribe and like my videos. See you next time.